Welcome back to the Apecast.
I'm Charles. This is Ben, my roommate. He might make a guest appearance. You might hear him also.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah, it's David. Yeah.
It's your three usual hosts back at it again on Going Apecast.
Yeah, and we're gonna jump right into it today because I so I have a bit of a
We've got a hot debate in store.
got a hot fucking topic, and that is the proper construction of a grilled cheese. Do you make it with butter or mayo? The correct answer is mayo.
You know what?
No.
I'm gonna have to disagree. The correct answer is butter. Are you fucking retarded?
No, you're retarded.
Are you literally insane, Ashton? Like,
Yes, that's why I've discovered that mayo is the better topping.
Well, you don't use mayo as a topping. The way
You use it as the frying component.
The bread, yes.
Yes,
it's not a good oil. It
is a superior oil to butter.
I don't know how the flavor progresses when you heat it.
Charles, from a culinary standpoint, I know this for a fact that mayonnaise does work as it's a good substitute if you don't have butter. The taste kind of just disappears.
No, if anything, I would say that it makes the cheese flavor richer. It is a richer sandwich. It is a better cheese experience.
Here's my proposal for you. If you like mayo on it, why not just scramble an egg and dip your bread in that first? Like
that's different. That's just an egg, and that'd be like some kind of weird French toast sandwich.
Mayonnaise is mostly an egg, homie.
Yeah, but the other stuff is what dilutes the egg. Fucking egg likeness.
Okay, I'll go. I'm gonna stand with Charles on this. A fucking egg wash would be better than using mayonnaise.
Well, that'd be a completely different sandwich at that point. That'd be some kind of. It'd be like some kind of French toast. It'd be like some kind of French toast sandwich.
French toast is required to be a sweet fucking.
It's not required to be shit. It can be just an egg. The sweetness can come from maple syrup. It can come from maple syrup.
So when I put my bread on the egg while it's like while it's frying, when I scramble an egg and put the bread on it because I want to like get it to start toasting, and then I flip it over and have the bread on with the egg on top. Like, that's French toast, I guess. It's not an egg sandwich.
No,
it's French toast.
That is an egg sandwich, and that's not grilled cheese. We're talking grilled cheese here. You take the bread, shut your whore mouth for a few seconds. You take the bread, you put it on one side.
It's grilled cheese. It's cheese that's grilled.
Yeah. Okay, they call it grilled cheese, but it could be called fried cheese.
Have you ever contemplated the idea of putting a grilled cheese in a panini press?
All the time. I have a waffle iron. I waffle like half the sandwiches I eat.
So we can agree that waffling or panini pressing a sandwich is clearly like
it does.
Well, yes. It gives it some kind of like no matter what you put on it, it gives it like this almost shell, depending on what you put on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes it more of like a, it's some Italian word, I'm stupid.
Are you talking about a panini?
Yeah, maybe I am, David, you're right.
Yeah, maybe you are because I mentioned the fucking panini press, bro. That would make sense, would it not?
Oh, also, I was thinking a croquette.
Oh, no, that's French.
Oh, damn. I don't know. What's the difference between France and Italy, asked Trinity that one time.
Body hair.
Yeah, the Italians have it all on their chest. The French keep it under their arms.
We've already reached the racy comments.
The pseudo ethnicism.
Don't worry, we'll get to every race eventually.
Oh, we'll have to make fun of everyone at some point. However, contrary to the genuine belief of the server that French people are cringe, I've come to the ultimate conclusion: French people might actually be based.
There's a possibility.
That is a strong claim right here that French people are based.
Listen, France has the Département du Basset, which is the base department. So that would imply that France is based.
What exactly does the base department do?
I'm just gonna go on. I'm gonna go on a whim and say that it determines if you are based or cringe. As we know, France is very good at rooting out cringe, as it killed both an emperor and a king within the span of 30 years.
Well, it didn't kill the emperor, homie.
Well, yeah.
The alliance did.
Well, yeah, but British people are stupid, and that's why they can't stand French people being based.
Damn.
So we've been directing our beliefs
is my friend.
Exactly. We've been directing our beliefs in the wrong quadrant, you know?
Well, British has always been cringe.
Well, yeah, but we're saying that
language is the opposite of based, though.
Exactly. The language is the opposite of based, but the people, the country, France is based.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face the facts. France is based.
I don't know if I'm willing to accept it yet.
Based, by the way.
Let's talk about this.
No, based is indefinable. So the other day,
Based can mean anything to anyone.
Canadian was asking me what does based mean, and I'm like, listen, you will know what based means when you experience it. When you experience it, you will know what it is. But until that moment, you cannot know.
When you experience
everyone I've used it around hates it. They hate the word just because they don't know what the fuck it means any given time.
You have to tell them they are not yet enlightened on the purpose of based, on the meaning of
I give
based.
them the typical gangster speak definition to calm their nerves to make sure that I'm not saying some like alt-right shit, but
how do you define it to them?
You should just define it as alt-right.
I mean, based is just like not giving a shit about what other people think, generally.
Yes, in some scenarios, but in some scenarios it's something completely different.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's hard.
Meaning. It's a very pliable word. It can mean numerous
It's almost like we just say it whenever we feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what he's saying is, when you experience base, you know what base is.
When somebody says...
It's an emotion.
It is an emotion. Because when somebody says something, like somebody does something and someone responds with, that's based, everyone who knows what that means, and they realize that it is in fact based.
Yeah.
You just have to define. You always have to define based as the opposite of cringe. If you are cringe, you are not based.
Yeah, you cannot be based if you are cringe.
Yeah, I don't think the horseshoe theory applies to it. You know, like you can't be so cringe you're based, and you can't be so based you're cringe. It's just it's a hard line to draw.
I don't know.
Horseshoe theory is some of my favorite because it's things it applies to, like especially for anime profile pictures. On one end,
they are the end of the horseshoe.
Yeah, yes. they are the horseshoe.
Both sides start with fucking hang on, I fucking saw a diagram of the other day. But you've got, one end you've got the Nazis, and the other end you've got the Nazis, but on the other, the gay Nazis. The kind with their tranny flag, thigh-high socks, and the swastika painted on their wall.
On one end you've got fascist femboys, and on the other end you have communist femboys. Yeah, and it's the ever-growing conflict of left versus right. Except now it's who's got better thighs, and
they all type how much they hate black people or white people on their light-up gamer keyboards.
Yeah,
it's interesting because they're all racist, right? Like they're all very racist.
Oh, absolutely.
It's absolutely. They're all very racist, but it's like they're the complete conflicting sides of racism, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One's so anti-black and anti-everything, it's awful, and the other one's so anti-white and everything, it's absolutely awful.
God,
and also the anti-white one has like a suppressed fear of Asians.
Suppressed superiority complex. Well, they fear the Asians because the Asians are the only people who can adapt communism into a viable form of killing people faster than disease.
My God, they really did predict it in whatchamacallit, in Starship Troopers. They predicted how it would end up.
Yeah.
With everybody in the world being capitalist and the Chinese being the only true communists left.
Unfortunately, that ideal is also fading, you know? As much as I despise the Chinese government, as much as I despise the Chinese government, I'll admit, It's kind of based.
It is based, but in the wrong way, you know?
Yeah, it's based in like the negative way, but like at the same time, it's still qualified as based.
God. Just and on the topic of being cringe politically, I think anyone who takes any kind of major political stance is inherently the cringest. So that would be, you know, if you've got a Trump flag in the bed of your pickup truck, or if you're outside, you know, rioting in the streets of Portland in your fucking black bloc, you are truly a despicable human being, and you need to line up to get your microchip implanted.
Well, they pretty much already have their microchip implanted. Why do you think they're doing what they do? They're essentially just slaves to the great puppet masters that are politicians.
Yeah. Yeah, they have not yet realized that government bad, monkey good.
Exactly. You know, and that's why
semi-politically active. This is like really a. I'm getting roasted to shit, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Reject politics.
Like the thing is, there's only one good way to be politically active, and that's beating to death your local politician.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be politically active, write your congressman and tell him he sucks. Call your congressman up on the phone and call him a shithead. And
if you want to be politically active, firebomb your fucking local government buildings.
If you want to be politically active, start sending presents to people.
Yeah. Label them Merry Christmas. Make sure you send them around the holidays, so that way it doesn't come up as suspicious.
Yeah.
And also have different aliases and names to write on each of your packages, so that way it's not correlated to the same individual.
So is this segueing to what I think it is?
I believe it may be.
Do we want to read Industrial Society and its future?
I believe we can.
Yeah, let's read a passage of Industrial Society and its future.
Let's read a passage.
Read a chapter, if you will. We'll read the intro and like the first argument. Let me look.
But yes, this is serious. All fucking congressmen have their phone numbers posted online. Find your local congressman and call him up and tell him what a fucking loser he is. How he never got laid in high school.
So, yeah. Please do. Please insult your congressman.
Text him, suck my cock. 24.
Make them become our congressman Steve Daines and not answer the phone anymore. Make them stop answering.
Make them decide that it's been a horrible venture in their life to become a politician. You should make them regret their life's decision.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready, yes.
Okay. Industrial society and its future. Should we read the context of this for those who don't know?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll read the editor's note. I'm on the Washington Post website right now. Okay, this is the text of a 35,000 word manifesto as submitted to the Washington Post and the New York Times by a serial mail bomber called the Unabomber. The manifesto appeared in the Washington Post as an 8-page supplement that was not part of the news sections. The document contains corrections that appear in the Friday, September 22nd, 1995 editions of the Washington Post. The text was sent in June 1995 to the New York Times and Washington Post by the person who calls himself FC, identified by the FBI as the Unabomber, whom authorities have implicated in 3 murders and 16 bombings. The author threatened to send a bomb to an unspecified destination with intent to kill unless one of the newspapers published this manuscript. The Attorney General and Director of the FBI recommended publication. This is written by Ted Kaczynski, Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber, who is who is the main figure in anarcho-primitivism. Like, one of the few people that actually wrote stuff pertaining to that.
Yes, and one of the only people to act on it as well.
Mm-hmm. And boy did he act. He killed people. He blew up a building. Holy shit.
Okay, is my personal hero.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, totally not uncomfy now.
No, it's okay. I mean, I don't disagree, however.
Yeah. Okay. Introduction. Paragraph 1. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. They have greatly increased the life expectancy of those of us who live in advanced countries, but they have destabilized society, have made life unfulfilling, have subjected human beings to indignities, have led to widespread psychological suffering, in the third world to physical suffering as well, and have inflicted severe damage on the natural world. The continued development of technology will worsen the situation. It will certainly subject human beings to greater indignities and inflict greater damage on the natural world. It will probably lead to greater social disruption and psychological suffering, and it may lead to increased physical suffering even in advanced countries. Paragraph 2. The industrial technological system may survive or it may break down. If it survives, it may eventually achieve a low level of physical and psychological suffering, but only after passing through a long and very painful period of adjustment, and only at the cost of permanently reducing human beings and many other organisms to engineered products and mere cogs in this social machine. Furthermore, if the system survives, the consequences will be inevitable. There is no way of reforming or modifying the system so as to prevent it from depriving people of dignity and autonomy. If the system breaks down, the consequences will still be very painful. But the bigger the system grows, the more disastrous the results of its breakdown will be. So if it is to break down, it had best do so sooner rather than later. We therefore advocate a revolution against the industrial system. This revolution may or may not make use of violence. It may be sudden or it may be a relatively gradual process spanning a few decades. We can't predict any of that, but we do outline in a very general way the measures that those who hate the industrial system should take in order to prepare the way for a revolution against the form of society. This is not to be a political revolution. Its object will not be to overthrow not governments. Wow, I'm having a stroke. Holy cow. Its object will be to overthrow not governments, but the economic and technological basis of the present society. In this article, we give attention to only some of the negative developments that have grown out of this industrial technological system. Other such developments we only mention briefly or ignore altogether. This does not mean that we regard these other developments as unimportant. For practical reasons, we have to confine our discussion to areas that have received insufficient public attention or in which we have something new to say. For example, since there are well-developed environmental and wilderness movements, we have written very little about environmental degradation or the destruction of wild nature, even though we consider these to be highly important. So that's the intro.
Ooh, well. I mean, I can't say I disagree with anything he's saying.
Yeah.
It's a very non-offensive one. Intro,
I would follow Ted K to the ends of the earth.
I feel like there was no real reason for him to need to, kill people with his, albeit that he probably never would have gotten recognized in the political years, because that's generally what they do. They don't accept it.
That's why what he did was a crime. It wasn't necessary, and it was cruel to the innocents.
It may not have been necessary, but in a way it kind of was, because there was no way the political world would let him, openly.
Yeah, I still don't agree with the fact that he killed people.
I mean, I don't agree with the fact that he had to kill people, but in a lot of cases, the loss of human life is a necessity much for the, progress of idea and
Let's
thought.
put it this way. There's a very utilitarian argument from his point of view, where he believes that if he doesn't kill people, more people will suffer more.
Yeah.
So he wants to minimize the suffering and maximize the happiness.
And I don't know if he's
in order to do that,
He hasn't been wrong, after ever since, it's just been kind of disaster after disaster, shit show after shit show,
Yeah. And I would not say that Ted K is falling into obscurity. I spend a lot of time in some shadier corners of the internet, and let me tell you, people worship Ted K.
Oh yeah.
Which is scary, because I don't want more people to explode, but also...
I think at this point with the political landscape, it's bound to happen.
I want more people to explode, but I don't want them to be innocent people. That's my thing. I think I want.
Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If if
But you
you're gonna
can't.
have terrorists, they're going to kill
Yeah.
indiscriminately.
Well, that's
No.
the part of being a terrorist. A
No
terrorist
person
is
is
to excite
guilty enough
terror
to
within,
explode.
Yeah.
Is my thought.
I don't know. I would not mind exploding. Like on my list of worst ways to die, exploding is pretty low because I feel
Exploding's pretty badass.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
One, it'd be
that's
super
badass.
cool, and two, it'd be probably pretty quick.
Unless you get like blown in half and you're just left with your intestines hanging
Oh
out.
yeah, that'd be pretty bad. But at that point, I don't think I'd last much longer. It just, I
You
think
die
I'd.
from shock, most likely.
Oh yeah, I think the fucking deafening explosion and the brain damage would get me, soon after.
Yeah.
I think that there are some things I agree with them. Like, modern society is not adapted to the technology we have, and
Yeah.
it will take a long time for us to do so. But I don't know if it's the technology that needs to change. Like, I think that the technology has overall improved life for many people who have access to it.
Yeah.
And those that don't have access to it, it is trying to improve their lives, but they're despots in charge of their country. They're literally fucking it up
Yeah.
Yeah.
for them.
Well, I don't
Nobody in
think it's-
fucking
I don't think
Congress
it'll be-
understands the internet or like technology in general.
They're too old.
Well, and I think the major reason why you don't see things like renewable energy or nuclear power being like broadened and being bigger, aspects of our modern electrical system and power generation as a whole, is because a lot of people are, oil baron shills. They take money from the oil barons to say things that tell you,
Oh,
no,
yes.
don't embrace these. And everyone's
The oil
still
has-
stuck on the fact that Chernobyl happened, and Chernobyl only
But-
happened because of, human error. And the fact
It's
that
interesting because a lot of oil companies are also opening renewable divisions. They recognize the problem that they're going to face.
They're
in
trying to, which is
very long,
awful. They're
where we
trying to
are now.
fucking corner the market with these goddamn
Yes.
fucking monopolizing pieces of shit.
You also have to look at it from the perspective of we don't have a lot of oil left.
Well, yeah, we don't have
We've
a lot of oil left. Yeah,
yeah.
we're
We've got
going
like
to, we're going to
50 years
do
of
a research.
oil from
Yeah, we're
some
going to
estimates.
Oh yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
going to run out within our lifetime, and I hope
Yeah,
by
man,
that
It's going to be kind of based.
by that point, I don't know what I hope to happen. Either we develop some kind of renewable energy or societal collapse, and either one, I could take either one honestly.
I'm fine with it. One's good for my grandchildren, one's fun for me,
Yeah.
Well, one's also potentially good for your children and your grandchildren as well, because if there's a superseding, reformation of the state or reformation of human civilization, generally when, humanity hits its refresh button, it creates
Things
you
get
have
pretty
dark
good.
ages, but it may take a while, but eventually, like a neo-renaissance, essentially, there's always points of bounce back in human history. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, because there's been plenty of times where I think, humanity has pushed its boundaries far enough to be, wiped off the face of the planet,
Yeah.
now being one of them. But, even if society does collapse, it doesn't mean later on down the line it will be worse for the people, that are your descendants,
Yeah.
And
I don't think
speaking,
the downfall of civilization is a negative, because it's inevitably going to happen.
yeah.
Everything falls.
And
That's-
speaking about younger generations, this was a topic I wanted to bring up tonight. What are your opinions on kids, specifically kids on the internet?
Oh, they're cringe. Don't let them on here. It's a hellhole.
Yeah.
I think it is a terrible idea to give most of the modern children access to the internet.
Yeah,
there's a lot of-
it was good for me, because when I became a teenager, I was on the internet. I wasn't fucking 10, 11, 9 years old on the internet. I think that's a very bad thing, and you shouldn't do that.
Yes. Parents are giving
Yep.
their kids unrestricted. Parents that do not understand the internet are giving their kids unrestricted access to just the fucking World Wide Web because my friend has an iPhone, I need an iPhone too. No.
Well, it's even worse than that. The kids aren't asking for it. It's come to the point where YouTube is your babysitter, and that is not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
One of my
it comes to the
biggest
point where
problems
parents are
with-
doing it out of choice because they can't handle their own children, and that's the shittiest part about
One of my biggest problems with YouTube, specifically trying to make it more kid friendly is that it should not be kid friendly. YouTube is definitely, the internet. It's like YouTube was like kind of like a gateway drug to the rest of the internet. And they shouldn't be trying to draw kids in. Kids should not get on the internet until they're like 15, I would say. Like, cause
I'd say 12 is a fair age, but
I'd say like 13, 14 is like the fairest age.
You shouldn't be allowed to post shit until you're 15. At least.
But just fucking, because let me tell you, kids will always fucking find a way. I know I did. My dad's like, hey, don't go on YouTube. Don't find the way to the internet. And I'd always find some kind of back door and get in and be exposed to just degeneracy on all fronts.
There's a lot of degenerate fucks on the internet.
I think
exactly. It's like kids should not be allowed on the internet until they are at least 14.
Like, I don't want kids listening to us.
Yeah.
If
you're fucking
personally, I think a child is not meant for children. No, not at all.
Like it.
We talk about a lot of things.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Tell your parents to watch us too, and then tell them to overthrow their local government.
Tell them to start mailing bombs to people.
Mommy, Daddy, I need you to go beat the local fucking councilor to death.
Find your mayor and bust his knees.
Stop making my sandwiches with mayo because 2 out of 3 of the Apecast agree.
Shut up! Mayo is good, and you two are morons.
Mommy, I want you to make my fucking grilled cheese sandwiches with butter, not mayonnaise.
No. Have your mommy make your sandwich with mayo.
Have your mommy.
Are you based?
Hey, Dad, are you based?
Let's watch this, but I think that's a horrible thing.
I want kids to that be like the new thing. It's like, shut up, Mom, you're not even based.
Shut up, Dad, you're not based.
But yeah,
I've been trying to force the revival of that term. It's fucking funny.
But like when I run into kids on games like fucking SCP Secret Lab and they're on their mics going, "Oh hey guys, I'm on my dad's Steam account." I'm like, I go out of my way to harass them because I want them to leave. One, because they're annoying and I hate their stupid shrill little voices, and two, they shouldn't be in a place like that. They shouldn't be anywhere near Steam.
This is not a good place.
This is a bad place, buddy.
What are you doing here, kid? You don't want to be here.
You're on the wrong side of town, pal.
I've seen from the platform, wakes up, tied up, old man says, "This is not a good place, boy."
Point them over to fucking Weenie Hut Juniors.
Yeah. It's essentially like if you're gonna be on the internet as a child, you better be tough as fucking nails because there's a lot of shit out there that is not.
You better be tough as nails and never meet up in person.
Yeah,
everyone on the internet is a fucking pedophile.
Just don't even bother with the internet. Go be a kid. Go fucking play hoop and a stick and ride your bike around. Do something
for your neurological development.
We fucking had Nerf wars, kid. Go do Nerf wars with your friends. And if
back in my day,
want to go outside, beat them to death.
Back in my day, it was a Nerf or nothing.
I advocate strongly for violence.
Yeah.
And my God, TikTok isn't funny, guys.
Yeah. If your friends are being little bitches, you better bully the fuck out of them until they start playing with you like a.
Bullying is motivation.
What is it with women finding... Okay, this is gonna sound a little bit sexist, but fucking women are like the main users of TikTok. What is it with them and finding the least funny shit hilarious? Because, God...
It's just because they're 15, Ashton. You don't grow a sense of humor until you're 18.
No, because my ex, she would constantly send me TikToks, and she's 18, and would just a non-stop stream.
Well, Kay constantly talks about TikToks.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to have Kays on here eventually, and we'll harass her.
Yeah. God, we're gonna harass her for being a woman.
Constant
blanket TikToks are dangerous though, because there are some funny TikToks. Like,
no, don't you say it! Don't you say that! It's a slippery slope. It's a fucking slope covered in butter.
Are made by men.
Well, it's butter, not mayo, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but they're foreign men.
Well, not all of them, but
but the majority of them, they're from India.
My favorite part of TikTok is like the Indian TikTokers who take it like very seriously.
And most of the men who make TikToks do it to get to fucking preteen girls.
Well, that's
There's
also
some
true.
pretty cringe men, but there are also some wholesome dads.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. When you hit
There's also a
dad
bunch of,
age, you
like-
just get to do whatever, and people you can be cringy as hell and be like, oh, it's okay. He's 35.
You know,
I think the
moms and
greatest
dads
water
are
would
objectively
TikTok.
based in different ways.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm a based individual, and if I became a father, I'd just become a more based individual than I already am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like doubles your base level at least. It might even be like an exponential growth.
Yeah,
in
it's
base.
potentially triples to quadruples at times. It grows as you get older, you know?
Yeah. The base multiplier.
The base exponential.
Base
The base
multiplier.
age theorem.
What if Markiplier was based and changed his name to Basedeplier?
Markiplier can't be based. He's the face of cringe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're a child and you like Markiplier, I hope you know no one likes you. And if you buy fucking Markiplier merch, never wear it outside because I guarantee you're gonna get beat up. And if you don't get beat up, then there's a fucking pack of bullies out there who are slacking.
Homie, let me tell you, don't buy merch in general. Like, honestly, most of the merch is not that good looking and isn't that high quality. And
Do not-
also, it's
yes.
just cringe.
Wearing YouTuber merch is like the #1 signifier that you are a tool. You might as well
Now, let
be
me
getting
show
"I am a
my
tool"
one shirt
tattooed
I
on
have
your
it with
forehead.
Alright, but like let me say this.
All right.
There's YouTubers that are based, so if you have their merch, you're also
No,
based. Like,
no,
for example,
never
I have,
giving-
No, listen. I have a review bra like fucking hoodie.
Okay, review bra is objectively based.
Well, that's
yes.
different.
Review bra is based.
I'm glad we can talk about review bra on the show
Yeah.
because that man's is my hero.
But if I see
Shout
another
out
child
to
in a
you, bro.
fucking Mr. Beast hoodie, listen, I like his videos as much as the next guy. He's charismatic and he does cool shit, but I would never buy his merch because I like being able to talk to women.
I enjoy talking to women, so I'm not going to be a fucking man child and possess
Damn.
a fucking multi-million
Imagine really out here speaking straight facts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, clearly, like, anyone who fucking wears, like, mainstream YouTuber merch is an absolute fucking man-child.
Oh, yeah.
That is, without a doubt, no question.
Which is funny because speaking of my ex, she fucking purchased the Unis Honest fucking hoodie or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. She was so proud of it, and we were still dating at the time, so I couldn't tell her how fucking cringe I thought it was. But boy, was it cringe.
You
No,
should've
Una's
fucking-
Honors is actually kind of based as a concept. Like,
I mean, as a
1
concept,
year.
yes, it's based.
But it's
in
but it's
practice,
Markiplier.
I don't know. It's Mark, but he's not being Mark in a way. He's
It's
like
Mark.
actually not being cringe in a
For
bunch
once.
of contexts.
Speaking of cringe, can I just say, PewDiePie, what happened? He went from like the biggest guy on YouTube and was super overhyped and cringe, and then the media shut him down, and he was almost like underground, and he was cool and edgy, and everybody liked him. He was based, but somehow he circled back around to being cringe again.
I don't know.
Horseshoe effect,
I
man.
think he's still kind of based, though. Like,
No,
he
because
still
all of
has-
his fans are 13-year-olds.
Well, but no, listen. There's still moments where he, like, he does, like, his inside jokes and his fucking, like, subversive humor. And, like, that shit's still kind of based. Because, he can't objectively say the things he thinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's made it full circle in my opinion. He is
I don't think he himself. Yeah, I don't think he himself is cringe. I think it's his fan base that's cringe.
well, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
his
really
fans
want a
are PewDiePie fans are some of the worst. Just most fucking major YouTuber if you like certify yourself as I'm a Jacksepticeye fan. He is cool and I like the funny Irish.
Let's be honest.
You're never gonna have a
Jacksepticeye is the
girlfriend.
most objectively cringe of the whole.
Oh, I
bunch.
hate
No, it's
Jacksepticeye.
interesting though. When he's live streaming, he's not actually that cringe.
How often?
You know, it's
Charlie, how often do you watch Jacksepticeye streams?
not often enough, I guess.
Not often enough.
God,
Well, like, I mean, I guess there's a difference between being a streamer personality and, like, a commentary, like, YouTuber game
God.
Streamers
personality.
are marathon runners, whereas like
yeah,
YouTubers
okay.
are.
I'll be honest. I do not really like Twitch. I don't. It's just I don't like Twitch streamers. I just never was able to connect with the platform. I can't just sit there.
I personally dislike Twitch. I'd rather stream like through another like third-party software. To be honest with you.
Too bad there is no third party. You got one choice, buddy. You can stream on Twitch or you can get the fuck out. Want to stream on YouTube? Might as well be pissing the bed.
That's true as well.
Shout out to Simple Flips.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, there's some Twitch streamers though that are genuinely fucking good, like the Vine Sauce crew. You know, those are genuinely.
I don't know.
good
I never got into Vine Sauce Vinny like when he was at his height on YouTube. I liked Nanners at the time.
I think
weird.
I think Vine Sauce Joel is objectively the best. That's
Vine
just my
Sauce
opinion.
Joel is really based, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Joel's fucking great.
fucking funny.
Yeah.
I love his stuff that he does with Simple Flips. Like they've made each other like terrible Mario Maker
Yeah, God.
levels.
I took the alternate path when the choice was laid out before me between Vine Sauce and someone else, and I picked fucking Oni Plays because Oni NG is the funniest man. I love him so much.
He can be very, very funny.
I think you can still like. I think
I enjoyed his episode on. Go ahead.
I watch Oni Plays. I also watch fucking like Super Mega. I watch fucking Vine Sauce. Those are like my three main like game related people that I watch. Like group wise. I mean, there's a bunch of other like smaller YouTubers that I watch for like individual genres.
I really enjoy. What was I gonna say? I enjoyed the official podcast episode with Oni.
Oh
NG,
yeah,
right. That was
Yeah.
a good one. And yeah, I'm a big Penguin Zoe fan,
I
as
love
they say.
Critical, yeah.
Dude, Critical's base. Critical is hella base.
He's like one of the best YouTubers out there, in my opinion.
He's very funny. He's the best commentary channel. I can say that.
I'm gonna lay down a little bit more of a hot take here. I don't know. Like I don't not like Penguin Zero. I just think he's like a very overrated individual, in my opinion. Like I think his humor is very like it's hit.
He says the worst shit, the cringiest shit, but it's funny when he says it. It's interesting.
I guess it kind of is, but for me, I don't know. I've never been like I've watched a few Penguin Zero things here and there, but I'm not like a super big fan. It's not like one of those things. I'm not truly invested. Now,
Yeah.
Speaking of investing, I don't have a PowerPoint presentation prepared for what I want to do here. However, let's talk about what the smartest investment you can make right now is. I want both of your takes, and then I'll give you my personal opinion.
Index funds.
Okay, Ashton, what's your opinion?
Shit, man. Brick company. Invest in bricks. People need bricks and shit.
Most experts will say you're good investing your money into gold, or you're investing your money into oil. However, I think the most sound investment a man can make is a full set of Chinese steel pagoda armor.
What?
That has it has no deficient value. It never decreases in worth. It will always be worth something, because when the end of the world comes around, you can dress in that shit and kick ass. You're protected from most things, man or beast.
So, let me ask you, have you found a set of Chinese steel pagoda armor?
David, when is it arriving?
How I have, and I'm gonna start a fucking GoFundMe. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe.
How much?
We're getting a set of Chinese steel pagoda armor for the podcast.
How much
That
is
what
it?
we're doing. It's a few $1,000s. But
Like how many thousands?
like a couple, like two or three grand, something like that.
My lord.
It's like it's like a grand to $3 grand. It depends on like what kind of quality you want. However, best investment a man can make is a set of Chinese steel pagoda armor. Now, let me tell you this: was it the most effective Chinese armor on the battlefield? No. Was it badass? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what. Those motherfuckers can make armor out of rhino skin, but that will never top steel pagoda armor. Listen. I'm pointing directly at the camera. I'm pointing at you, the viewer. Right now, buy yourself a set of steel Chinese pagoda armor. It never decreases value. It will never lose value. Fuck oil. Fuck gold. Fuck silver. Fuck minerals. Fuck people.
Better than buying yourself that, donate to the GoFundMe.
Yeah, but instead of buying yourself, donate to the GoFundMe. I'll put a link in the description of this fucking video.
Yeah.
As soon as it's published, we'll have a GoFundMe for buying the
I can't
podcast.
believe that we've reached the level. I can't believe that at age 18 we finally reached the level of the 12-year-old begging on GoFundMe for video game money.
Yeah. I want to make YouTube channel. Buy me computer.
This is an investment
Wow.
for you, because when the end of the world comes around, I'm in warlord mode, and I'm gonna recruit you. I'm gonna pull up on your doorstep,
Yes,
riding my
yes.
fucking step
Yes.
horse in my Chinese steel pagoda armor, and I'm gonna tell you, you've got no choice. Join or die.
I'm gonna.
Now,
I've been
next
recently
week-
thinking about buying a sword.
That's
I've
exactly.
been-
We're also putting the money together to buy a sword. That's what we're doing.
I'm absolutely
in
going to
3
buy
years.
myself a sword in the coming days.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn. In 3 years, I'm planning on I'm planning on my rootin' tootin' self with a revolver. That's my plan. So that will also appear at some point.
Now you
here.
need swords for the
Yeah.
apocalypse. You're gonna run out of bullets
Yeah.
eventually.
I can't run
Yeah,
out. I'm a
it's-
chemist, dude. I'll make my own.
I'll fucking chop
but
your
that's
hands
what you have
off
to do. Charles,
with my
you have
long
to
sword.
invest in Charles. You have to invest in a black powder gun. That way you can just make your powder and just shove it in
Black
the
powder
chamber.
is stupid easy to make. No,
Yeah, it's
I'm,
fucking based as shit.
I'm gonna research white powder and how hard that is to make, because white powder is I don't know if it's an official name for what we call gunpowder now.
Are you talking about smokeless powder?
Yeah, it's smokeless powder, and they some call it white powder. I don't know if they're white supremacists. I never checked that. Maybe I should.
I know that I am. That's a joke, by the way. I would like to preface this with this is a joke. I'm going to put it up here in like big bold subtitles. That was a joke.
yeah,
Don't listen to him.
I-
He's a white nationalist in denial.
Yes, don't you know? I absolutely have a despise for the inner city, and I swear it's because of the people of
He's
color,
way too
not
close
because
to
of
that
the
city in
government.
Montana to not be a white supremacist.
All right, here's another important topic. Coke and Pepsi, they are the same. That is all.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll accept it.
I'll say this: Coke is far less sweet than Pepsi.
I prefer Coke, but they are. I'm not going to turn down a restaurant when they ask me, "Would you like Pepsi instead?"
Yeah, because
It's
they're
like-
the same, and people who
Yeah,
get
they're
upset, like
They're very similar.
I work
Well,
in
yeah,
a movie
people
theater,
get
so
upset.
and we sell Coke at the movie theater, and people come in
Oh,
like, oh, can I get a
movie
Pepsi?
Pepsi.
And they're like, oh, can I get a Pepsi? I'm like, no, we have Coke. Is that all right? And they're like, oh, no, it actually isn't all right. I'm like, wow, you're a fucking hog. If your palate is so trained to taste the difference between Coke and Pepsi, then you were you were a goddamn hog, and you should be
Just tell them to
put
get
back
the
in the
Pepsi
fucking
elsewhere.
feeding trough.
So the big thing about that is that's just being rude to people in the service industry, which is already sus. And you're doing it over something petty, which is even more sus.
Yeah.
And number
yeah,
three,
a dickhead to be a
400
dickhead.
pounds. That's so sus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just being a cockball to be a cockball.
Everybody knows that the best soda is root beer.
I mean, pretty high tier, I'll give you that.
It's high
I
tier.
like Dr.
However-
Pepper a good amount.
Have you contemplated cream soda?
Okay, cream
Cream
soda
soda's
is
high.
okay. I count cream soda in its own category because you've got like soda and you got cream soda. They're separate because one of them is clearly better, and that is cream soda.
Of course.
I would say all cream sodas are all better than not creamed sodas.
So like we're talking,
Oh,
so cream sodas would like cherry cream and orange cream.
Yeah, essentially, like all the ones that are like variety flavors of cream are in the cream soda category.
Now,
as opposed to the regular soda.
Let me propose another suggestion.
All right.
Ginger ale or ginger beer. That's pretty high tier in my opinion.
The only
Those are
time I
quite
drink
high tier.
ginger ale is when I'm sick. I don't dislike it. That's the only
It's
time I drink
associated with bad emotions. Yeah, I get you.
No, I like ginger ale by itself. I drink it like it's not like one of those. I don't drink
It's
soda
good
very
stomach
consistently. To be honest with you, I drink mostly like water and tea and juices.
Mhm.
But like, if I had to choose, I'd like to have fucking ginger ale most of the
I mean,
time.
You know me, I'm a Coke guy. I like some cola. I fucks with cola. It's good.
I don't
I gotta
like
admit,
cola.
you know, like the one like occasional like one that I like to get when I go out is Mellow Yellow. I do enjoy Mellow Yellow.
I've never had Mellow Yellow. I can actually say that.
It's fine.
It's
alright,
like
yeah,
a
it's
Sprite
fine.
imitation.
No, it's more like
way.
Mountain Dew Coke. It's Coke brand Mountain Dew almost.
Huh.
But
Strange.
like not at all. So like
not
Mountain
at all.
Dew. I see Mellow Yellow as like the old man soda.
Huh.
Maybe I'm getting old.
Okay,
but,
so here's what's criminally underrated, though. Let's get this straight. Squirt is criminally underrated.
Squirt is not good.
Oh,
It is-
well, I'm sorry,
it's-
you're wrong.
It just get something else. Get 7-Up.
No, it's got like that ginger ale quality, and it also tastes good. You know, like it settles your stomach a bit.
Yeah, it's not
I like
awful.
it. It's not spoken about enough, in my opinion.
I don't know. It's never going to reach the higher tiers of the upper soda
Oh, no.
echelon.
That's
Yeah.
not what underrated is, though. It's like where it's just not spoken about at all.
Yeah,
just like
because
nobody-
it's so like unimpressive in my opinion. It's just, eh. One of the
Right.
I would say the Dr. Pepper. Well, it is one of the best tasting sodas. I cannot stand the company because fucking the I don't remember what city it was in Texas. They had a Dr. Pepper.
Austin?
Yes, I think it might have been Austin. They had a Dr. Pepper plant that so their fucking profit margin went down by I think like 0.25%. So they fired every single person in the factory without warning.
Jesus.
And I don't know. I kind of like Mr. Pibb more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Mr. Pibb. Honestly, the best Dr. Pepper isn't the original; it's the cherry, because it feels like it's what Dr. Pepper should have been all along.
People say Dr. Pepper is supposed to be a cherry soda. I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it tastes better not cherry.
Well, no, I mean like the cherry flavored one is just better in my opinion. The regular one's all right. I like the regular one a good amount, and it's good if you're like tired and you need something to wake you up. It's got a lot of sugar, and that helps. But
God.
I don't know. But root beer is high tier. I would like to make some root beer at some point.
Yes, root beer
Do
is
some more of that.
easily my favorite soda. Nothing else can compare.
Whenever I notice a place that has like its own house root beer, I have to try it out because
Yeah.
like it's perplexing no matter what.
And there's also various tiers of root beer. At the bottom of the list, you have Barks. Barks is garbage.
It's pretty aggressive.
No one will ever convince me that Barks is not terrible. Above that, I would say, what's the other one? A&W. I would say A&W is probably next. And at the top, Mugs. Mugs is the best root beer.
I think A&W is better than Mugs. I like them to be creamier when they aren't like homemade. But I get what you're saying.
You know, I like Mugs. I like Mugs a lot. I don't drink it. I haven't drank it in like God knows how long, like maybe a fucking year.
That's because
or two now.
the only time you can find Mugs is in like a 2-liter bottle. That's the only way it comes. I've never seen it in like a smaller
so
bottle
fountain.
or cans. Or
You can
or
get it in
fountain.
like the 24-ounce bottles or whatever. Like
I've never seen a 24-ounce bottle of Mugs.
I've seen it a good amount. I've actually seen cans also.
That's
but,
the only way I've ever drank
You have to
Mugs.
be
is
going
through,
to, like, a big-
24-ounce bottles.
you have to go to a big grocery store to find it though.
Yeah,
Like it's not going to be at a gas station.
I've
You're
only
gonna
ever
end
found
up
2-liter
at a
bottles of
station.
Mugs.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well just buy the 2-liter bottle.
Mugs has that more homemade flavor, doesn't it? It's a bit like a more bite to it.
Yes, and that
That's,
is
that's why I like Mugs as a root beer. You know,
I like A&W, but more recently I've been enjoying Mugs a lot.
also, can
That's
I
what
just say,
the dining hall.
people who drink Diet Coke are the biggest fucking sheep. Don't fucking drink Coke if you're gonna
Don't
drink.
insult Harry. Don't insult Harry.
I'm
homie.
sorry,
He's
Harry. Diet Coke is
drinking Diet Coke.
Diet Coke is worse for you. It scientifically is worse for you. Doesn't matter. Oh, it's got less sugar. Yeah, but it's fucking poisoning your body. Diet Coke and Coke Zero. Either just drink regular Coke or drink something else.
Yeah,
Water's pretty good.
Yeah.
water's kind of based. I need to get another bottle of water after this, I'm thinking.
Yeah. You're probably gonna have to piss up a
I've,
goddamn
I've,
storm.
I've drank 2 already.
Clog the storm drain with your piss water.
Yeah, I'll go fucking I'll go fucking overflow the Flathead Dam with my
Okay.
piss.
I'd like to talk about based individuals in Kenya for a second.
All right.
It seems like a very interesting topic.
So I've been attending some Engineers Without Borders meetings at the school here, and they're working with the community in Kenya to like bring them clean water and like good places to poop. Is the other one like what's it called, composting latrines? So one of their designs that they've been using for a while is a latrine where you poop and it goes down into a pit. And in this pit, and like it basically once the pit is full, they seal that side of the latrine, use the other one. There's another pit that you fill, and then after like 12 months, they shovel the pit out and put it on this composting bed.
Are you okay, David? Yeah. You fucking chuckling about the shit pit?
I'm chuckling about the poop pit.
Yeah, dude, literally, it's great. This is the best committee ever. I'm convinced. One of the heads of it, like in every email, he gives out a trivia question that you have to answer to make sure that, like, so they can. He makes sure that you get the email. You respond with it, and you get poop points.
Oh, that's great.
Please shit in his fridge and put a post-it note, stick a post-it note to it, call it that just says poop point.
So, anyways, what was I saying? Oh yes. So like this design is called an annual composting latrine because once a year you have to shovel out the pits and you move it to a secondary composting location, and by that point, like the poop is a bit more sterile to be around because like putting poop in soil while it works in the Martian is hella unsanitary on Earth because other people have to be around your shit, and that's not good. Like that's how diarrhea and other things like minor stomach bugs become major problems. So anyways, they're doing that, right? And these communities are very tight for cash sometimes, and they are tight on labor too, because it's hard to convince people to go into a pit and shovel out poop.
Yeah.
Because that's not a fun job. Anyways, so like I was reading the reports from years past where people would go back and like go by these schools with the latrines in them, and they'd be like, and they'd interview the people that are running them, the sanitation teachers they call them, and a very common trend among the schools where they were not really committed to it was they'd say we were never given a key to unlock the pit, the compost pit, so we have not been managing that very much. And at one point, the guy clearly is sick of their shit because he like writes, what does he write? He writes like these lost keys are indicative that the school is gets a D grade because they clearly aren't that committed to the project, and they lost their key.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. There was one where they took off the toilet seats, allegedly, and allegedly like sold them for material, because like all of these schools in Kenya are on like a shoestring budget.
Yeah, of course.
So it's very rough for them, and sometimes the costs of like maintaining these is very, very like it's higher than they'd like, which is unfortunate because like they are very good for the community. Like I read studies that like showed that like diarrhea decreased in cases in 50%, like ridiculous margins for just pooping in a clean place.
Yeah.
So but anyways, I think it's funny that people lost their keys.
Like,
They didn't want to clean out the fucking shit pit.
I would, if I was given like that fucking job, I'd be like, I think I'll take my chances and go get malaria elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit pit is being. They have another design that's the shit bucket, where
Sounds like
they've
the
got
10th circle of hell, the shit pit.
I mean, it is Kenya after all.
Yeah, that's already the 10th circle
Don't
of hell.
say that, dude. It's not Brazil.
Well, yeah, true,
Yeah.
that's fair. Well, Brazil is just hell as a whole.
Yeah,
It's just
dude,
a
you're going.
subsection of Brazil.
I was talking with our friend Harry, who has been having Discord profiles. They're like a flag, and then it's some phrase. So like he had one where it's the Israeli flag, and then real, and then he had another one that was like Spain, and it was pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he proposed one. We were spitballing ideas for one today, and he's just like Brazil, hell.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Brazil truly is the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That is what the last fucking shambles of
Brazil is what
humanity
Ted K was writing about.
is Brazil. It's funny because Brazil had the chance to be like a really good country.
Yeah,
And
they
then
weren't they at P5 for a bit, or they were on the Security Council for a non-zero amount of time.
Yeah, because they, that was like back when they had a functional like government.
Ha ha.
It wasn't run by a modern day fascist.
Yeah.
That wants
I
to
think
burn down the Amazon and suffocate everyone.
Yeah, I think Brazil was better led by despots than it has ever been led by people who feign democracy.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Bolsonaro is based in the wrong way. Like, he took off his mask after testing positive
Oh my god.
Yes.
in front of reporters, which was...
But yeah, there's
Just
quite a
bring
few
back
countries
the Pedro family.
that worked better with despots. For example, Somalia, they had a dictator for many years and were going pretty good. And then their dictator died, and somebody else tried to replace him, and he failed. So then they tried to transition to a democracy, and that did not work. And that was like the U.S. backed democracy, which failed horribly.
Oh, a U.S.-backed democracy is a dangerous term.
U.S.-backed,
especially in the
democracy.
developing world, because the U.S.-backed democracies often don't have that much democracy in them.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
and so
that's why I
failed.
said U.S.-backed democracy.
And now Somalia is quite literally like Mad Max wasteland, but with boats.
Another country that was really good under a despot was Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone likes to say, "Oh, Gaddafi was a piece of shit," but he did marvelous things for the country of Libya. So it's like,
Well, yeah. I mean, despots aren't ideal because the person that replaced them, such as the case was with Somalia, can be significantly less competent, and that's a problem.
That's the problem with despots is like essentially if you have a despot and then someone's like, oh, I don't like this person, and then they try and get rid of them, and they do get rid of them, and they succeed, and they try and put up a puppet government. It generally goes to shit because the person they choose to run the puppet government is like the most incompetent fucker on the planet.
Thing is that like the succession of despots tends to be very poor. Like you look at the stars of Russia where you go generally downhill as time.
The thing with the SARS of Russia is the whole reason Russia went downhill is because a bunch of nihilists tried to kill the emperor, the Tsar.
Yeah.
And then it made Alexander switch his focus from helping his people to hating them because they relied upon themselves.
Yeah, like he was very good about reforming initially, and then he got bombed, and then he was like, "Fuck you guys."
He got real pissy and petty about it.
No, like he was trying to make reforms, then people tried to impede his progress and killed his father. And he's like, "Yeah, no, I don't really see a reason to help you now."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, if I was a despot and people ruined my entire political plan to help them out, like, what would be the point in actually helping them? Because if they're not going to help themselves, by letting someone who wants to help them, then there's clearly no reason to progress any further.
It's interesting though, because like it was going pretty good, and then he went kapow, and that's not helpful.
Yeah,
because then his son's really pissed.
Well,
And
the
then-
thing that happened with Nicholas II after like third Alexander III was just Nicholas II was not at all ready to become a ruler. He wasn't even. That's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to become a lawyer. He went to law
Yeah.
school.
And
Yeah.
he did all right until he tried to play general and left a crackhead in charge of the government.
Well,
So-
he tried to do all right, and then it wasn't he who tried to play general. It was fucking his generals who were all Russian aristocrats. You're like Brusilov, who was also a somewhat of a Russian aristocrat, but he was also like a member of the fucking occult shit that was going on in the aristocracy of the time. Was a really competent person. However, he was one man compared to like fucking 20 other people who were generally incompetent people in it for money.
There's some really interesting shit that went down at the end of like the Russian
The
Empire.
Russian Tsardom, yeah.
And during the provisional government, like there's some
There's some interesting stuff that went down there. I mean, we can probably devote a separate podcast to that at some time if you want, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my detailed knowledge of that literally comes from Oversimplified, so
yeah.
I'll just give my opinion on the matter, and that is the wrong side won the Russian Revolution, and that's very much evident.
would have done better. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
Whites would have brought World War I to a more satisfying conclusion.
They would have been like, Germany, I'm sorry.
Oh, Germany. Sorry, don't know who got on the phone there. I'm not done. Let's get it.
Well, also, it would have, prevailed the Tsar, and that would have been a huge morale boost to the Russian people, because despite what everybody thinks that, everyone in the Russian Revolution was pro-commie, a lot of people were still pro-monarchy, and they wanted the monarchy to
There were a lot of
maintain.
monarchists. There were a lot of liberals that weren't that liberal. There were a lot of
socialists. There was a lot of socialists behind the fucking white movement as well. It's really weird.
Well, yeah, it's like because Lenin's party really alienated the.
It's fucking isolated itself from everyone else. It's like, fuck you guys. You're not real socialists. You don't want to kill innocent people for no reason.
Yeah.
No fact.
Well, Lenin wasn't
an asshole.
Lenin was not at all a competent ruler. I'm going to be truthful with you. He was not a
No.
competent man.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Trotsky
that's-
would have been better in succession. Though.
Nah.
Gotta agree. I think Trotsky.
Trotsky
I
was just a fucking crackhead.
He
Well,
was a
Trotsky-
crackhead, but he's better than an evil crackhead.
Well, yeah. I
Well,
think.
he
Trotsky
could've-
was still a military guy. I think the only thing that would have been different with Trotsky is they would have made it to space faster.
Well,
Yeah.
He
Well, they
also-
also would have kept the space program going. That's a big thing that would have happened.
also Trotsky was not a dumbass Georgian with authoritarian views.
Yeah.
Well, also,
on how
the
communism
fuck
should
thing
work.
the fuck thing about Stalin is Stalin was like, oh yes, I am totally Russian, guys. I'm totally Russian. Now let's Russify every country in our vicinity.
And it's
Yeah.
like, you're from Georgia, dude. You're literally the second Hitler. Like, this isn't an
Right.
original viewpoint. Hitler did this first coming from Austria, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't... And it didn't work well with him.
Because fucking Stalin came to power like in the 1920s, 30s. And he's like, yeah, let's turn everybody who isn't Russian. That's a great idea, guys. Let's have a homogeneous population.
That were great, guys.
Yeah, well, like, the thing is racial diversity under the Tsardom wasn't bad at all. Like, the Tsardom wasn't, like, pushing Russification up until, like, the end where it's like,
I mean, everyone was poor,
but
but everyone was poor,
That's
some equality there.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, everyone may have been poor, but it's not like, it wasn't Stalinist era Russia bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you could still get your basic commodities without having to fucking give your arm and your leg for your country or, fucking working yourself to death.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, most people provided for themselves. That's something that was lost with the communist revolution.
God. On a change of topic, another topic we wanted to talk about was, what do you think? What game do you think has currently one of the worst communities around it?
Ooh.
Because I have a few.
Persona's pretty bad.
Persona's bad.
Persona is
What else?
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. They're all pedophiles.
Yeah.
Because one I did want to bring up in specific was Mordhau.
Oh my god,
yes.
I hate those fuckers.
Yes.
The Mordhau people.
Because so for anyone who doesn't know, Mordhau is a game that a lot of people in our group and vicinity play, but there are people who are really into Mordhau are kind of the worst. Like they really are. They're just the biggest fucking sweats, and not only that, they're miserable human beings. So fucking Chivalry 2's coming out recently, and one of the devs for Chivalry 2 was having some kind of Q&A live stream, and there were so many people with Mordhau profile pics there being like, don't make this game. Your game is poopy shitty. Play Mordhau instead.
Even though Mordhau is kind of Chivalry clone.
Yeah, Mordhau is just a shit
large
clone.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to come at me for that, fuck you, you're retarded. First of all.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Canadian says that, though, doesn't he?
No, Canadian is the one that constantly denied, no, it's not, oh wait, no, I think that might have been Mark, it's like, oh no, it's not a Chivalry.
No, it was Canadian, or Silver. Because
I think it may have been all three.
God, it might be Silver, it might be Silver.
We're gonna have to have Silver on at some point.
God, no!
Yeah, it's gonna have to happen.
We're gonna get Silver on when he's high.
Stoner Hawaiian is an Stoner Hawaiian 15-year-old.
Yeah, my favorite quote from Silver is, whenever Silver's like, I'm so stoned, guys, it always strikes me as that one guy's like, wow, guys, I just smoked drug. I am so high right now. Aren't I cool, guys? I did drug, and I'm telling everyone about it.
I think if you're gonna do drugs, you should just do it in a group experience, so that way you avoid the, oh, hey, guys, I did this, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's another? Rust has a pretty shit community sometimes. There's a good subsection of shitheads in there.
Oh, SCP Secret Lab.
They're all five.
It's built up of children and then people who really, really hate children.
It's made up of people who.
I love it. I actually love that community. It's the perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
It's made up of children, and it's made up of people who hate children, and it's made up of people who are big fucking nerds.
Yeah.
And then it's made up of people who are just there to fuck around.
My favorite is when somebody's given like, oh, hey, have you heard about SCP 4045? And then somebody shoots them in the face, and we all laugh.
I really like SCP Secret Lab because it's the perfect like formula for a hate crime.
Yeah.
And that's funny, I think.
It's one of the few games that fills me with rage. Like, I'll run into some guy and be like, oh, hey, you want to work together? And he whips out the fucking pistol and blasts me in the face just because he can.
Yeah, it's kind of
funny. And then my brain goes, oh, I hate this guy. But then I make myself consider, I'm like, if I were in that guy's position, I would have done the same thing, because it would have been funny. I would have done it because it would have been funny, and all I can do is smile and nod.
It would have made me laugh.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. What's another?
Rainbow?
Terrible.
Rainbow Six Siege has
Oh, you're right. I forgot about Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I tried to suppress my memory of Rainbow Six's community. It's so shit.
Yeah.
So shit.
I haven't run into too many like particularly bad people. Maybe I'm just numb to it after like diving headfirst into some of the worst communities. But Rainbow is yeah.
Oh, you do have like an affinity for diving into terrible places.
I do. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's always funny to go in there.
Oh,
and
it
see
is.
how fucking cringe people are.
That and man, one thing that's surprising is Among Us recently has like exploded, which is weird because I got Among Us.
You played that 2 months ago, like before it exploded.
I know. I got Among Us like when it originally came out and was super underground, but now it's like the new big thing, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because as much as I like stuff getting exposure, there's also all these goddamn regular people playing it now.
Oh
These
my god.
goddamn
Really enjoyed, dude. I really enjoyed playing it with our smooth brain friends. Though.
Oh, yeah.
We had some funny
yes.
moments.
I'm so good at that game.
Smooth brains.
I am lucky and also good. I had my 200 IQ moment when I accused our friend Jacob out of nowhere. He was leading the discussion, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, hang on, guys. 200 IQ, big brain play. What if it's Jacob? And then we voted him off, and we won. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
boom.
Yes, I enjoy playing the game because generally I'll either do really good or I'll just be like dead in the first fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, it's interesting playing the game with K's, because, like, if one of us is imposter, the other one's dead, dude. It's fucking
Yeah.
over for them.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
It's the
what.
same thing. Yeah. Like
It's
if I
good.
play with K's, I'm generally going to die within the first 10 seconds, and I know
Yeah.
that for a fucking fact.
You're the
Yeah.
first kill. I'm like in the middle generally. It works.
Yeah,
I
I'm
always tend to make it to the end. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just really like responsive if I see someone near me, or if I'm just extra sneaky. But I always make it to the end. I don't often
It's
get
weird
murdered.
luck.
Oh, I
It's
don't
a
know.
large portion luck.
I will refute that. I am incredibly skilled at that game. I am such a good player.
Well, I mean, you're skilled in debate, but like surviving is all a matter of being in the wrong place, wrong
Yeah.
time. Half of it. Like,
Yeah.
sure, you can increase your chances of survival by hanging with people, but what if you're hanging with the wrong homies? What if the homies want to hang ya? You know?
Yeah.
Not much you can do.
Happen to be
First.
individuals that don't like people of your variety.
Brown.
Yeah.
Don't know if we can say that.
What? All I said was brown.
Okay.
This is the
we'll
racist stick. I'm about to bonk you with it.
just Stop being racist.
No,
I
You
almost
can't
said
tell me what to do.
I almost said a slur in the middle of that.
Be the first.
Nope. Not at all.
We are racist.
Wow,
Wasn't a
guys, I'm
slur
so
regarding
racist
race.
right now.
We
What's-
gamers have
I do
racist
wanna-
and hella racist.
I wanted to discuss something like about racism and just like the use of slurs in general.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I'm not trying to take the controversial standpoint of it's just a word, you know. But like at the same time,
People who use the argument of it's just a word, it shouldn't be offensive, are usually like 13 and just
Yeah,
found out
they're
what
all-
Reddit is.
They're either 13 or they're like grown men that are actually racist and are hiding under that argument.
Here's what
Like-
I think that
here's what I will say
Stupid.
on things like using the N-word. It really depends on the people you're doing it with. Like, if you can say it and your friends find it funny, that's great. I'm not gonna, go out in public
Yeah.
and say it because it wouldn't be, socially acceptable there.
there's no real socially acceptable spaces to say it in public. If you're gonna say it in public, don't say it in
If
public.
you're gonna say it in public, well, you better be defending some southern statue, homie.
And the people who
I mean, if you're gonna say it in public, you better just be actually racist at that point.
Yeah,
you know?
like because that's what I'm labeling you as.
yeah.
You know,
I'm
if
sorry.
You say it in public, you might actually be racist.
I'm not sorry,
Yeah.
you're racist.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say it and try and be funny, but if you're not reading the room, then just don't say it. That's
And I
generally-
hate when people say it in like an unsocially acceptable situation, and they're like, "Oh, whatever, it's just my freedom of speech." And I'm like, dumbass, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. Censorship is bad. Nothing should be censored, in my opinion.
Government can't censor you, but my fist can.
Yeah, freedom
Yeah.
freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence, but it is my opinion that nothing should be censored ever.
Well, I will say this, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequence, but I'm not going to stop you from saying something.
Oh,
like that.
oh yeah, like
I may have the opinion that you shouldn't.
Yeah, but after the fact.
if somebody wants to say something horribly depraved, I will fully applaud them. Mostly because I'm an anarchist and I want to see people just do the worst things possible because it's funny. But if somebody
I want to see humanity embrace its. I want humans to embrace the natural spirit of chaos, and that's why whenever someone says poggies, I threaten to rip their fucking spine out of their back.
Yeah.
Because
But you
that's
don't
the sentence I
stop
believe
us
they deserve.
ever.
I'm going to. I'll mute your ass if you say it.
You will never stop the Poggies train.
You stop
That's
that
it,
right
I'm
now.
You're
Charles.
way too Poggies for that, dude.
Charles, listen, I'm going to come to Bozeman and I am going to end your life in a public setting. How does that sound?
I mean, I always wanted to be in Elias's video. I never imagined him that way.
Okay, good. Glad we can agree.
Did you enjoy that mic burp?
Yes, it was beautiful, thank you.
Oh, it was
But yeah,
I
pathetic.
might throw up.
But yeah,
I tried to make myself burp, and it didn't work. I don't have a lot of gas in my tummy. I have it in my gut.
Drinking,
I don't know,
drinking Coke.
I've just always been the kind of person that
At a
believes,
camp.
the general consensus is your freedoms end where someone else's begin. I'm just like, your freedoms never end. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I want
Like,
people.
it's
They can
my-
do whatever they want back, is my
Exactly.
position.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
what I want. I want somebody to go outside, and I want them to point at somebody and call them like a retard or something. I want that person to respond with violence, and I want to sit there and watch because it'll be funny.
I mean,
And I
if
want
that person,
someone to
yeah.
bring me popcorn.
I think my biggest thing is like I think everyone's too fucking pussified, you know, like
Yeah,
I think if you're gonna take offense to a fucking word, you better go beat the shit out of that person that takes offense to it, and if they kill you, that's on you. You're
yeah.
the dumbass who went after them.
no laws,
Destroy
no gods,
verbally. You
no masters.
Destroying people verbally is pussy shit, Charles. That's what I think.
Sometimes it isn't, though.
No, it's absolutely pussy shit. The only
Now, a
place
lot of
words
people
have-
that do it are not doing it well.
Well, a lot of the people that do it are fucking retarded. That's
Yeah.
my opinion. Antifa, fucking BLM, both of them are retarded.
Oh, dude! But then when they hit people with skateboards, you charge them with assault. Nah.
I refuse to support either of them until they take some real militarized action on the state. Until they go into full rebellion, they are a bunch of pansy ass bitches.
That's exactly why I support people like shooting people that attack them, because it's like, well, I mean, it's your fault for attacking them, and they just took what was in their right to do. So I'm just saying, buddy, it's on you for being a fucking idiot.
I just want violence in the
IDK,
streets.
Open Rebellion is pretty based.
That is
Yeah,
all I want at this
open
point. I want
rebellion's
open
great.
rebellion.
However,
I
Charles,
think-
what I'm stating is that if you're going to openly rebel, you might as well realize the consequences you're going to suffer from that.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean
That's-
that's every rebellion has that fails is called a rebellion, not a revolution, because it failed and they got wrecked.
That's why BLM and Antifa are retarded, because they're not actually rebellions. They're
That's right.
movements
They're
guys
just
behind.
they're just
Every
bitching and
political
moaning at
movement
the
like that is.
they're just bitching and moaning at the current political system, asking for change. It's never going to happen. The American system is 200 years old. It is quite literally set in stone.
Now,
It's not
here's
going
the
to
thing.
change.
I don't know, man. Arson is pretty based, though. So
Arson
they got
is
the right
based.
idea.
Arson is based. However, arson isn't based if you're fucking burning down people that aren't there.
Everybody's participating in the system, David.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
they're just participating like a bunch of
That's
pansies.
AR.
They're whining and having fucking tantrums in the streets. Just fucking
then they're like-
attack a fucking
and then
post
they're-
office.
Well, and the thing is, they're burning down unimportant buildings. Like, that's the fucking thing that pisses me
I mean,
off.
the
It's not-
precinct was somewhat important.
Yeah, the precinct, but after that, they just burn down a bunch of small businesses
Yeah.
and destroy people's property. and shit
Now,
like that. It's like,
I'm
why don't you just
sorry.
go fucking...
What was it? Was it Tyrama or something that was burnt down that everyone was
Yeah,
memeing?
They
Yeah.
burnt down, like, Tyrama.
Yes,
they burnt down
finally,
McDonald's,
the government
burnt
has
down-
learned.
Finally,
Justice on
the
Tyrama.
is essential to the government's functions, guys.
Yeah,
We
bro, don't
do.
you know McDonald's is essential to fucking government function? Everyone
That's
who
because-
is...
That's because all these
It
fucking
is.
rioters and protesters are just fucking retarded. They're not
They
attacking
are
the right
actually
targets.
fucking stupid. Well, that's
The closest
I'll
we
tell you
got,
what.
the closest we got
I'll
to
tell you
open
what.
rebellion was the Chaz, but that failed miserably because none of them could get along, and they pissed the bed on that one.
I don't mean to get conspiracy theorists here, but the reason why I think you don't see them attacking major political things is because it's it's a movement, against politicians, behind the guise of, oh, we're doing it for, people of color, or we're doing it for, the impoverished. But generally, it's just them doing it because someone paid them to do it. I guarantee you that's the biggest thing.
We're getting that way.
Or they want to fucking just destroy shit to destroy shit. They're not doing it with any.
Oh,
purpose.
absolutely. I think more than half of these people are just out there to cause havoc, which I fully support. But at some point, you gotta move on.
You have to stick it to the man. You gotta actually fucking cause havoc in the right places.
The thing is like they agree with the system. They just want it to change a bit. Whereas when you think of it from our point of view, we want to throw out the system.
Yeah, we want the system gone, but these people are just like, oh, yeah, the system, it's kind of not bad. Let's just make it not racist.
Shut up, pansy. No more government.
That's why I support. That's why I support going to Portland and kicking the ass of both cops and protesters simultaneously.
Dude, I'm literally about to go to Portland and blow up black vans, dude. I am. Yeah, we're doing it. You're
going
rumbling.
to Portland and planting pipe bombs on
actually not right now
because
my lungs bored. I go to Portland.
Yeah, they'll fucking die from fire. They'll fucking die from smoke inhalation.
If these people want actual change, then they would openly rebel. Until then, they're never going to see the change they want.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's why, as an individual, I say you kick their ass into shape and teach them to fucking do something about it, or you just do it yourself.
Yep.
And I feel the same way about fucking 2A people. Honestly, 2A people are also fucking retarded. And I as a person, I love the Second Amendment. I believe that naturally humans have the right to defend themselves because that's a fucking instinctive need.
They're also just going about it the wrong way. It's already a pretty. They're
going about it
right.
Yeah.
So you should defend the system, not tear it down right now.
Well, the thing is, they're going about it. They're like, oh, guys, let's let red flag laws happen, guys. It's okay. As long as we just don't do anything now and we wait till later, we'll be fine, guys. Shut up, pussy. Do something about it now if you really want your rights protected, you fucking stupid whore.
The other thing about it is they seem to have all of the methodology down of open rebellion, open carrying in your federal buildings, but when people accuse them of open rebellion, they're like, no, we're just protesting. It's why don't you
stop
just
protesting and start rebelling? Jesus.
Yeah, they're fucking being bootleggers, and it's stop being a bootlegger and actually do something.
Yeah,
goddamn.
That's exactly what they fucking are, is a goddamn bootleggers.
General populace doesn't matter. It's the ones that are willing to take action that will determine what happens, dude.
That's why we must all take action.
That's why we must all take action. We must all throw away our technology here. Take your computer, huck it out the window, go down to your local pawn shop.
Buy the easiest to acquire bladed weapon.
Yeah.
And just go ham, boy.
Yeah. Start fucking slaughtering. That's
we should definitely put up the whole please don't
put up this is a joke fucking text.
We have blown out of proportion.
No, I refuse to accept that. This is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
No matter what the screen may say right now, this is what I believe.
Yeah, it's not actually a joke.
Okay, guys,
it's a joke. It's a joke, guys.
My Prim views become more ironic.
Guys, it's a joke.
Yeah, definitely a joke. Don't find your local congressman and give him a fat fucking wet willy and call him a big nerd.
Don't just go up to your local congressman and slap him in the face with your fat fucking balls.
Don't do it. If you live in Montana, don't do it to Gianforte because he'll fuck you up, dude.
Yeah,
Gianforte is such a fat bitch.
You know what? I want to take Greg Gianforte on in a fight. That's it. We're starting
You can win.
Cage match with Greg Gianforte.
Greg Gianforte is one of the worst. I hate Gianforte so much. I actually don't like fucking Danes. I don't like Gianforte.
I don't like anyone.
And I don't like Bullock. They're all
Listen,
terrible
I just
choices.
hate politicians. Let's be honest.
I
I
really
can't
want
hide
it.
behind the guys of I'm a
I
Democratic
want the
supporter
David
anymore.
Gianforte cage match.
Yeah, guys, start. If anyone wants to start that petition, go ahead. I'll just fucking train up. I'll
Yeah.
deck that motherfucker in
Yeah.
the ring.
Back
Cage
for the
match.
press, dude. I'm back for the free press, dude.
Getting back for the free press, just fucking MMA duel.
You're just doing bench presses with like the newspapers on each
Yeah.
side.
I'm gonna walk in like suit and I'm gonna rip off my fucking sleeves and I'm just gonna start beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, you frame it as a meeting though first, so you have the same element of surprise as the reporter was struck by.
Yeah.
When
it's
they were
true.
just
Oh.
because in the
Hold on.
recording it's just a grunt followed by like a punch. Just like because he asks Greg a question and you just hear
Yeah.
Man went
Gianforte's a bitch.
but I'm about to go monkey.
Greg Gianforte's literally got anger issues.
Yeah,
Man
he
went
should not be in
monkey, I'm
office.
going- Man went caveman.
And the
I'm
only
gonna
reason
go
he was
gorilla.
elected, I'm convinced, is because he did that after the absentee ballots were in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was
Like,
too late.
But I gotta be honest. Decking the fucking reporter is kind of base because journalists are
It's
also a bunch
based,
of pussies and
but I
Okay.
don't like it.
Journalism is fucking awful now. I remember when it used to be, well, I don't, but, back in the 40s and shit, it used to be cool. Journalists used to put their lives on the line, and, they would go undercover in fucking crime rings and report on.
I mean,
they were real
was
fucking hard-boiled bastards.
Yeah, there's still those people, but they aren't the fucking mainstream media. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
most reporters now fucking write opinion pieces for like the New York Times and shit.
Fucking Vox
Yeah.
and shit like that.
I miss an
more
era
focus-
when fedoras were actually cool and you could wear a fedora and a trench coat and be seen as like a badass and not a fat loser.
Yeah,
The nice guy's fault.
yeah. Fuck the nice.
That
guys.
is one of my biggest fucking tragedies. Is as a kid, nothing was cooler to me than like the 1940s private detective, in the corner of like a fucking easy speaker bar with a lit cigarette and his fucking beige trench coat and fedora. And now the fucking trench coat and fedora has quite literally been ruined. You cannot wear that without being seen as an absolute social reject.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
fucking.
That hat
I mean-
has been cursed.
We could probably do it for like Halloween, but that's about it. That's the only
Yeah,
time you might.
I think there was like 3 years in a row where I had a fucking trench coat and fedora and I was a detective for Halloween, cause it was cool.
You know what?
And now you
Muckrack-
can't wear it, or else you'll never be able to speak to a woman in your life again.
Exactly.
Yeah, the best part about that whole Greg Punchman thing, it was the reporter didn't even ask him that loaded of a question. It was something very, very bland, and he just
Yeah.
lost it.
Cause Craig Gianforte's a fucking dumbass bald fucking ape.
He's a fucking caveman.
Maybe governor.
He's a
Craig
caveman.
Gianforte is truly a bald ape.
He's like-
Neanderthal.
I'm the richest man in Congress.
Speaking of congressmen, I work at a movie theater, and the other day Ryan Zinke came into the movie theater.
Oh, I'm a Navy SEAL came in?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
love that.
Mr.
Totally.
Mr. fucking getting kicked out of Trump's cabinet.
Well, that's not that uncommon, dude. His cabinet's been the worst.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't he like the dude of internal affairs or whatever? Fucking
He was-
secretary.
He was the Department of Interior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got the goddamn boot. And I wanted to bring it up and like, you still mad that fucking Trump kicked you out?
Dude, that guy is the worst. Like, who uses your Navy SEAL like career to forward your political career? Like, that's actually
Every single politician that's been in the military.
I'm gonna be honest. The only politicians that should matter are the ones who have been in the military.
but like,
that's
I
my
don't think
opinion.
you should. But like, there's also branches of the military where they discourage the braggery. There,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's
I don't remember him bragging about it. I just remember being
Well,
like,
that would be the army. Because if you brag about being in the army, you might as well brag about being mentally handicapped.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's if you're in the
exactly.
Marines. You might as well like brag about being retarded openly.
So the big thing with I do kind of agree with you on the servicemen thing. I don't know if I talked about Starship Troopers yet, but like I've been reading that, and that's one of their big things is in the society the humans only will allow you to vote and only will allow you to hold public office if you have served
Yeah, well,
in
like
the military.
that
some
fucking it makes sense though. Because if you
it's-
can't die for this country, why should you fucking lie for this country?
Well, the whole thing is, it shows that you have the ability to put the group's well-being above your own well-being.
Exactly.
And,
like if you can serve the country, you can serve its people because you know how to.
Yeah.
It's like it proves that you're altruistic rather than selfish as an
Yes.
individual.
The
is a good
moment we
trait.
stopped electing officials of fucking military service was the moment we went downhill.
Yeah.
I mean, there've been a lot of them though, and that's been good because like they tend
Well, yeah,
to just
'cause-
be.
Well, their presidencies tend to be mild and mellowed out, and they're not like fucking, these fucking crazy presidencies that go down in all of history, except for like George Washington and Andrew Jackson, really.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I don't even think presidency is important here. Like, there's a lot of important senators that have served.
Yeah, like
that's-
if you're just in any government position, you should have served. That's my
well,
opinion.
that's a lot of the agencies do. Like, that's your out of service job. Generally, is you get hired by an agency, and that's good because, like, first of all, you gotta support the vets because, dude, they went through some hell.
Yeah.
I just know if I got out of the fucking military and the FBI approached me and was like, "Hey, you want to work?" I would be like, "No, fuck
Dude,
you."
No.
if FBI approached
Fuck off,
me right
G-Man.
now, I would say yes, because that sounds badass.
I mean, I could go get a job in the FBI. It's not that hard. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
I would never want
I
to
don't
be a
know.
G-man. Unless
Well-
unless it was to try and take it down from the inside.
Yeah.
No, I just
Like-
I just enjoy the idea of having a
Cool.
badge. That sounds funny.
Pull a fucking Snowden. Just go work for the government just to tear him down.
Yeah.
My God.
If you want a badge, I'll make you a badge. I'll fucking forge a badge out of. I'll melt down some tinfoil for you.
I mean,
Charles,
that would
I'll-
be hella vigilante in the apocalypse.
Charles, I'll melt you down some fucking. I'll melt you down some used brass from my
Yeah,
fucking.
I'll smelt some fucking loose change into a badge for you.
Nah, but I think that the ability to just flash a badge at somebody is
And be
pretty
like,
fun.
haha, fucking idiot, you're under arrest.
It's like,
It's
haha,
like-
dickhead. You've literally broken national security.
That sounds like a fucking Beavis and Butthead type thing. It's just like, haha, idiot, you're under arrest.
Idiot. You're under arrest.
Idiot, you're under arrest.
What's fucking Beavis's laugh? I can do butt heads, but I can't remember what Beavis is. Oh yeah.
I know because Gage can do it really well, and that still scares me.
It is Venus.
Oh yeah, and when Gage is really Beavis.
That means I get to
You
do
know
butt
what we
head.
need to have on here is Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, we get Chris on the
When the-
podcast. That would be amazing.
You need to talk to him about his many memes.
I can ask him Saturday if he'd be down for any time soon.
Yeah.
Because then we could, like, there's a lot of content that Chris has made that we could discuss. Because,
Yeah, like all of this sort of like videos and memes. Especially, I truly like the based image that he has.
Oh my god, the base
Yeah.
image. That should be your internal profile pic.
Just fucking based.
Dude. It's based.
Based indeed.
I find it so strange how I've become like the one synonymous with based in our fucking group. It's so strange.
Yeah. When
You know,
clearly
it-
I am the one who is the based.
Yeah, shut up, bitch. You're not
It's hard
based.
to-
I am based. I'm more based than you are.
It's in fact
not very
incorrect.
based.
I am the
dude,
most based, and no one can
Action.
deny it.
How can you be more based than me?
He is literally on
because at the
post-
end of the day, if I ever did come in contact with a congressman, chances are I would stab him.
if I came to
If the
contact
federal
with a
government is
congressman-
watching, that is a joke. But if they are not watching, then it is not.
if the federal government is watching, what I said about beating the shit out of a congressman is not a joke, and I stand by that. I would beat him down fucking gang style. I'll pull out a lead pipe and beat his
I'll
ass
curb
bloody.
stomp him. I'll stomp his fucking teeth into the curb.
I really like the fucking look Charles is giving.
I'm so concerned. I'm already on a watch list.
You're associated with us. And Charles,
We're all on a watch list, like just the right things we've said in this episode.
Charles' silence is just his agreement, and he is definitely an associate of ours.
Totally.
Yeah, Charles, you are an associate of ours, though.
Yes. I don't know. I used to say Seltzer is base, but he's become very conservacuck as of late.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it when he talks politics. I like it when he just speaks.
God,
Yeah,
if you want to meet the
speaks
biggest conservacuck, you have to talk politics with Silver
Or Gage.
or Gage.
Oh, yes.
All right. I think.
Or Cole. Cole is so
Oh my
scary.
god. I used to fucking play games with him all the time, and whenever we would start talking politics, he is very much a conservacuck.
I like how we are we're saying, you know, this, like, none of these individuals will ever watch this.
Yeah, or if they do, like if by some random chance we happen to blow up, we just fucking are bashing them on a public platform.
I think that is, maybe it gives them some sort of, what's the term, exposure.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll pay you an exposure bucks.
We'll give you a rebuttal, guys, but
We'll give you a chance. Come and insult us to our faces if you want to be on the show.
Yeah, yes,
Let us
be
know.
on the
Or you
show,
not
so
even
that
to our
we can-
faces. You can just come on. We can just have you record yourself saying whatever the fuck you want about us.
And then we can rebuttal it on the podcast.
We'll post it. We'll post it to the channel. Make a rebuttal and we'll post it. And we'll fucking break down your rebuttal and why you're a smelly bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is specifically related to you, Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Silver.
Silver's 15. That's child abuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
you're telling
And
me,
what is there something wrong with that? You're saying I shouldn't abuse children?
He's a half-baked person, dude. He's literally half-baked. He's not out of the oven yet, and we're judging him. We're judging his taste and texture.
Yeah,
and he hasn't had a chance to fully,
Yeah.
form those gluten bonds.
That
dude.
is
like,
because-
I don't get it.
Okay, here is my genuine opinion. Bullying is the hammer that fucking pounds someone into their adult form. You need it,
Yeah.
because if you don't have it, you end up with people like Chris Chan, who weren't bullied enough as a kid, and now, you know, he's an adult man, or not even a man
It
anymore.
worked quite a lot, but it didn't work.
Well, no,
Wrong
no,
type.
he wasn't bullied. His parents literally fucking paid a bunch of girls to be friends with him. Have you watched the Chris Chan, like the fucking 30-part Chris Chan documentary?
Watch the down the rabbit hole on Sonichu.
No. If you want the real Chris Chan story, look up the comprehensive history of Chris Chan. It is, it's got like I think 30 or so episodes, and each one is like an hour or so long. If you want a true breakdown of the genuinely from like his birth to currently where he is now, then you gotta watch the comprehensive history of Chris Chan. If you've got like 30 hours to just spend.
Noticed how every online group has a Christorian in it?
Yeah.
well, yeah, 'cause
Every
that-
online group has
Well, 'cause
something
there's at
to
least-
tell it first.
like there's a high percentage of the population that knows what Chris Chan
The
is.
story of Chris.
I mean, I know a good amount of it, and it's fucking funny.
My favorite Chris Chan fact is one time there was a guy pretending to be Chris Chan, and Chris Chan challenged him to an air guitar battle on like a fucking like a rock band guitar. He challenged him to a fucking rock band guitar battle, and the other guy won.
I really enjoy the parts of the Chris Chan lore and the Sonichu lore where it's just somebody from his life that he inserted into it and shat on.
Megan.
Oh yes, no.
Remind me, Megan. I'm
That was
dull
like
on the name.
that was like the first girl he got super obsessed with. He met her at, like, a fucking game store, like a friendly local game store, and
Yep.
he got fucking obsessed with her, and she like to the point where he drew porn of her in his regular Christian art style, and she just fucking blocked him outright, and he was real mad about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or
And then like, yeah,
Oh,
like he
or-
wrote her into the canon and wrote her in as a love interest, and she's like, "Oh God, no."
Yeah. Or when he worked at Wendy's, and he got fired from Wendy's, and no one really knows how he got fired, but the most common story is that he was talking to he made a child cry because he was doing a Donald the Duck impression, and he got real aggressive with it to the point where he made a child cry and got fired.
That is.
Pretty much. Just imagine big fat fucking sweaty bastard Christian.
Fucking go to bed. Nice all that. I'd be fucking scared out of my goddamn mind.
Place yourself in the shoes of like a 5-year-old,
I'd be like, who the fuck is this man?
Christian walks up to you and goes his fucking fat sweaty face. Yeah, you'd be fucking in tears.
I'd be fucking crying like a motherfucker.
I'm not insane. Trust me.
Oh god.
Yeah, Charles, sure, you can say that all you want.
Nah, I don't know. He's kind of based in the wrong way, though.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Christian is
Absolutely.
based.
Didn't give enough.
Have you heard about the convergence?
Didn't he?
Oh,
didn't he
yes.
like transition?
Yes. So Chris Chan is now Christina. So I mean, you know, it's still Chris Chan, but
I guess.
But now the convergence is a thing going on in the Christian lore now. He has been talking on Twitter about how the Sonichu world is colliding with the real world, and that Sonichu has been inhabiting his body. And the dimension X34 or whatever he calls it is the fucking dimensions are converging, and he's in psychic tune with fucking Rose Sonichu or whatever.
My lord.
Yeah.
He's done it. She's done it. They've done it.
They've become the Neo Messiah.
The Sonic convergence, that's
I'm
happening.
gonna start worshiping Chris Chan.
And here I thought the coming of Jesus would look like they foretold in the Bible, but after all, he's
This
just
is
a
what-
greasy bastard.
Oh my god, this is what was foretold in Revelations, dude.
Truly, this is a biblical moment.
This would be an epic Bible moment.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've been going for
Yes.
about
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah, I
Yes,
feel like we gotta wrap it up here.
I have one last thing that I have to do before we get off.
Yeah.
You will fund the Patreon to fly Chinese steel pagoda armor.
Yeah, and you'll
yeah.
fucking watch Sissy Hypnosis, and you'll
Yeah, you're
shit the
going
bed.
No,
You're going to
watch,
become
don't watch
sissies.
it. No, no.
Yeah.
Not
You will be sissies. Ooh. Sissies.
You will wear
no.
femboy socks. You
Oh, you'll wear programming socks. Ooh, you'll wear a fucking men. Ooh.
you're gonna use iFunny. You're gonna go on Reddit.
You're gonna become a fascist on iFunny.
Keanu Reeves is cool.
Oh, all right. Well, yes, I believe that is the end.
Elon Musk is smart.
Good guy. Yes, I believe that's the end.
Thank you
Yes.
for watching, and if you did
you
watch
for
it, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah, why
And
not?
with this
also
button?
subscribe.
Oh, yeah,
Subscribe.
please subscribe.
0% of you subscribe. Subscribe.
Go to
subscribe.
talk to women.
This just in.
You
You're
talk
a
to
fucking
women,
baby.
though.
You're a fucking baby. You're a little fucking diaper
Okay,
baby.
guys,
Diaper baby. Cuckoo gaga suck on milky mommy. Yeah, I bet you
Guys,
do, bitch.
talk to women and like don't.
Yeah, talk to women.
Creepy.
Talk to women.
Yeah, talk to
Enjoy it.
women.
All right.